Oh, Onana. I did want to talk about Onana. So just a little bit of a summary where we're at the moment. Jadon Sancho's coming back. Don't care. Get rid of him. I'm so glad we're looking at Mbeumo and Cunha, and we've got Ahmad and Mount and Xerxes, because there's no way for that freedom fighter to get in. Obviously, Rashford's going to go. Garnacho's going to go. Rasmus could go. We don't know who the striker's going to be at the moment, but it probably will be someone like Mateta. But we need 2 strikers anyway. But I suppose if you've got Mbeumo and Cunha, you can utilise them in the striking situation a little bit more. Nothing on the midfield at the moment. Absolutely nothing. There's hints of powerhouse midfielders, but there's nothing going on about that at the moment. Eric Keys says, Mark, Bruno's not being sold for 100 million. Is this not similar to 90 million Anthony, where the owners should interfere and not follow the manager, says Eric Keys? Well, let me just run a poll here. Are you happy Bruno is staying? I'm going to run that poll. Let me know. Are you happy that Bruno Fernandes is staying at Manchester United? Let me know, because let's not forget, 90% of you were saying sell him a couple of days ago. My opinion is let's move on, but I would still sell him. But the thing is, like, I'm very grateful to this community, of course, but I think we handled this in a really mature way anyway. It was never about Bruno being a bad player. It was about the money. It was look, Paul Scholes put it perfectly. Does he suit Amrim's system? No. You can't turn that amount of money down anyway. I think United were weak by letting him make his own mind up. I think United should have pushed him to the door, and we could have utilised that money a lot better. But he's still our best player. He's still been a great servant, and I don't hold anything against him. I just would have done, it was a pragmatic conversation, which we had many times. And after the Europa League final, before the Europa League final, I never would have done it. After the Europa League final, I saw a performance that, like the rest of the team, was just weird. And I just thought, now's the time to do it. But he's decided to stay. I've said my piece. I think we've all said our piece. And I'm sure there are certain people out there that don't rate Bruno. I've not spoke to Ricky. He won't answer anybody's calls. He's just said, don't talk to me. And there will be people like that are absolutely gutted that he's staying because they don't rate him. I rate Bruno. I just think it was the right time to do the deal. And that's just a maturity that I think a lot of you had as well. But we move on.
Hello everybody, today's clip is supported by Sleeper. Before we dive in, let me tell you a bit more about Sleeper. This app is making serious waves. It was the #1 downloaded sports app in the US during the NFL season, even beating heavyweights such as ESPN and Yahoo. Sleeper isn't just popular, it's because they truly deliver the best fantasy experience. You get deeper customization, more league options, and all the bells and whistles that make managing your fantasy team a blast. But that's not all. Sleeper is growing a fantastic community with several million people using it daily for their sports fix. Sleeper has a broad appeal and is genuinely built for everyone. So, if you're looking to up your fantasy game, make sure to check out Sleeper by clicking the link in the video description. Trust me, you won't regret it.
And in a way, it's not a bad thing because, rightly or wrongly, Ruben Amorim didn't want him to go. And it concerns me a little bit because I've seen managers at Man United who do things that a lot of fans are like, I'm not sure you're right about that. And I'm not sure he's right about Bruno in the midfield. And I'm not sure he's right to desperately want him to stay. But I firmly agree that a manager must be allowed to make those decisions, because if they aren't, then they can always get the sack and say, I wasn't given the decisions. And if they get it wrong, and they do get the sack, then you can say, well, look, they were given the decisions. So I agree with that. I think I'm not uncomfortable with what's happened. Bruno took his time. He thought about going, didn't fancy Saudi. There was no other option in Europe. It's prompted United to do something around Mbeumo. Amrim's got what he wanted. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world at all. Are you happy Bruno is staying? 55% of you yes, and 45% of you no. So there's a massive swing there, because literally 3 days ago, 90% of you wanted to sell him. And now 55% of you are happy that you're staying. I don't know how that one works, but as I said, if you look around on social media today, people are, basically rimming the Glazers again. And Sir Jim going, oh, what an amazing club we are. Only Man United can do stuff like this. And I'm like, I don't think it matters who's in charge. It's the name that's doing it. It's not Sir Jim. It's not the Glazers. I don't think Mbermo's going, just love to go and play for Man United. I love sacking people. I love debt. I love low morale. I love shit football. I love stadiums that are decrepit and going to get knocked down. And Mbermo will be looking at Manchester United, David Beckham, Sir Alex Ferguson, you, the fans, the aura, the worldwide appeal. That's what will be bringing these players in. It certainly won't be the likes of Sir Jim and co. Anana, I was asked about goalkeeper situations a little bit difficult to read at the moment. I think it's a long way down the list. And this is what I mean about keeping the pressure on, because you've got to... apparently, Ramos bid gone in. Let me have a quick look at this. Where's this coming from? Where's this coming from? Let me see if I can find out. While we're live. Goldbridge is getting the news while we're live. Have that, Terry. He got bloody Ornstein bomber last night. I've got Ramos bid. Look, I've always been thing about Ramos is I do a lot of Champions League watch-alongs on That's Football. And we talk about PSG. And I always say it's mad to me that Ramos doesn't get much game time because he's a good player. Scored very prolific at Benfica, not able to get into the PSG side because of the system. United do need a striker. Some people are talking about this. Apparently, we've been offered Ramos. James Murphy says Ramos bid gone in. Don't know what that's all about. Look, good player. Not a player I would have thought Man United would be linked to, if I'm being completely honest. We'll come back to the goalkeeper in a minute. I have got a screen here. Hello. I have got a screen here and I'm having a look. Okay, here we go. Nathan Salt. Man United have been offered PSG striker Ramos by intermediaries, and that is one to watch. I mean, that's not great, is it? I mean, with all due respect, United get offered a lot of people. This is coming out from the Mail. Ramos has been offered to Man. I mean, look, I wouldn't stress too much about that then. I mean, I'm just reacting to this live. Thank you, everybody. But Man United being offered players, I wouldn't worry too much about that. This happens a lot, and it doesn't mean anything. Agents speak to clubs all the time. All the time. I mean, over the years, we'll have been offered all sorts of players. For example, I would imagine a player like Ivan Toney last year would have been offered to Man United, Arsenal, to try and generate interest. If you can get interest from Man United for Ramos, it might be a way out of PSG. If you can get interest from Man United for Ramos and Juventus, you can have a little bit of a bidding war. So I wouldn't read too much into that unless it's Man United who put a bid in, which clearly hasn't been the case.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.